Donald Trump is creating chaos with his tariffs. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, no, this is news from a couple days ago. No, it's every single day. There's new tariffs and then they go away. And then there's new tariffs and then they go away. But generally enough stay. And over just the last 24 hours, there's a lot that's been going on there and none of it's good for American consumers or businesses. And so we're gonna go over one of the ways that Donald Trump, in starting and stopping these tariffs, delivered a win for Americans, but it's a win on an issue that was only an issue that he had caused. So that's fun. So yeah, this is yesterday morning. He wrote that Canadian steel and aluminum would now face a 50% tariff. This is separate from all of the other Canada stuff that we've been talking about. That is double what he plans to charge on metals from other countries beginning Wednesday, which is today. He said the levies were in response to an additional charge that Ontario had placed on electricity coming into the US, which was in turn a response to tariffs that Trump had imposed on Canada last week. Now, bear in mind, those tariffs on steel and aluminum, those are going into effect on other countries. And now the EU is planning reciprocal tariffs against, I think, $28 billion of American goods because of that. And so whether he gets a win here or not, the EU is still an additional issue. And so within hours of doing that, the Premier of Ontario said that he would suspend the electricity surcharge that led to Trump saying that he was gonna then double on top of what he'd already added on tariffs on steel and aluminum on Canada. So instead of the 50% tariff that he was threatening, he put a 25% one on it. And so how does the White House present this back and forth? Spokesman says President Trump has once again used the leverage of the American economy, which is the best and biggest in the world, at least as of right now, we'll see what happens in the next few months, to deliver a win for the American people. So, okay, let me get this straight. So the win is that you're not gonna pay more for your electricity from Canada, but you weren't going to pay more for your electricity from Canada a week ago. You only were because of a thing that Donald Trump did. Again, I gave the example last week. If I help you out by not punching you anymore, I'm not the good guy in this. I never should have been punching you in the first place. I'm not the hero of this story. There are apparently no heroes. God is dead, fundamentally. But anyway, so this sort of like, I'm sure Fox News is gonna be thrilled about this, that he caused an issue that he then solved, but it never needed to be an issue in the first place. And the damage of those tariffs will continue. They've taken off this electricity surcharge. They've still put tariffs on tons of our products, let alone the Canadian boycotts of American products and the Canadians refusing to come here and spend tourist dollars as well. All of those issues remain. And again, all of those were just caused by Donald Trump doing what he's gonna do and what people warned him would be incredibly damaging, and it has been. And so we're gonna discuss this. We're gonna put up, as we talk about this, here's a timeline on the tariffs going on and coming off. And look, I understand you're gonna have to zoom in a little bit on your screen. And also, these are automatically out of date because God knows what's happening even right now. But hey, Sharon, I guess he got a win, yay. What do you think?
He's just all over the place. And again, I question his mental acuity at this point, like they did the other guy. I really do. I believe those around him are allowing him to do this incredibly destructive thing because number one, they can make money off of it. The markets go down, you buy, they go up. It's not rocket science. But I also think it's because they're allowing him to just amuse himself. He needs something to play with. And he's decided to play with these tariffs, okay? And then if, the president of Mexico calls him and says, you know what, that was a nice tie you had on. We don't hate each other, let's fall in love again. And then he says, no tariffs for you. And then he doubles back, he moonwalks up to Canada and he puts it back there. So it's just, if someone offends him, it's on. Zelensky apologizes, more aid for you. It's just constant chaos. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. But those who are really in power, apparently, they're fine with him doing it to a point because they can just capitalize on these monumental, disastrous mistakes.
Yeah, he's just basically created a middleman for everything that happens in America. And it's a endlessly sensitive, needy middleman. Like you have to, to get back to where we were, you have to take a trip to see him or compliment him or give him a thing or put him on the cover of the magazine. That is not the issue that America had, that there weren't enough compliments going to the billionaire class, I don't think.